Hello and welcome back to the Liminal Branch Library, the archive in the seams. I'm your Archivist and Librarian, Mordio Crow, and we're back to RootRPG, episode 13. We're a full anime core now, guys. Like we got the 13 episodes.
Ooh.
I don't expect us to reach a full season, but you know it's a respectable
52
number.
sessions.
No. I don't think we're going to make it that long.
We're not going to make the syndication? No.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting renewed for that many episodes, but we'll see. We'll see. But for today, for this episode, who we have, as always, are right next to me, Nova playing as Miffy.
Hello, folks.
In the middle, Hambone playing as Milo.
Howdy do.
And all the way over there on the end, Amasha playing as Ember.
Hi.
And last time, our vagabonds. Wow, it's been a while, huh? You guys, last time was the time you put on a play, if I recall correctly.
It was. And it went over fantastic.
Fine.
Yeah, a really good set of roles from the team after the previous session started with some not so good ones, if we're being honest. So luck really turned around on you, and you had a strong performance that really seemed to resonate with the hearts and minds of the folk of Velox's Bend, much to the chagrin of Captain Oliver Ogden, who was financing a propaganda play of the company's own. Though no murder was done that particular night, certainly seemed to have forced him to have some financial setbacks, as he now has to determine how to salvage his investments, or if doing so is even possible. But with
there
that
was no murder,
Hmm?
but I feel like there was a character assassination with the sea captain.
Oh yes, there was certainly a character assassination, that's true. Just no, criminal murder in the court of law level of murder,
Yeah.
that's all.
We did still have to flee the state.
Yes, I was going to say,
Town.
State.
You were already wanted for breaking and entering the week or two prior, and then showing up and putting out this definitely not sanctioned, and dare I say perhaps worse than breaking and entering, copyright infringing.
Oh god.
Sorry, I can't. I know. Yeah, I mean, it was copyright infringing, which the company did.
We performed a fan fiction. It's
You
fine.
performed a fan fiction, but advertised it as if it was a real thing, and that...
I mean, they just came to their own conclusion about that. It's not our fault.
Did you pay for the rights for those fonts? I don't know.
Don't worry, we use Comic Sans.
But with that done, and with your wanted posters getting a fresh sum at the bottom, it was time to head out of town. Signing up with the Marquis, who, despite just a few clearings ago, you all were starting to foster a rebellion against them, you now find them as perhaps your closest ally, and you've decided to work with them to intervene in a deal being made between the Eyrie and the company. And though the exact nature of this deal, what it's comprised of, what it means, is unclear, you have been entrusted by the Marquis to aid one of their agents in the clearing of Featherflight to find out what you can and bring an end to it. Right? Whether that's, if there's something physical involved, maybe you can destroy it. If there's information, maybe you can obscure it or fake it or steal it back, right? Like whatever is going to be whatever's happening behind the scenes, the Marquis wants it to stop. So you've arrived here in Featherflight, got some accommodations. Right now, the vagabonds have just parted ways. Ember and Milo are staying in the accommodations provided by the Marquis, a hidden away old apartment. It's not exactly nice, but it is more spacious than where Miffy's heading off to, an old hideaway that she used years prior before fleeing. from Featherflight, which was once her home.
And she dubbed it. Go
I
on.
was gonna say, it's her very own butthole.
Yes. So you can kind of, I mean, that was a contributing factor on why, perhaps me and Ember wanted to get a different place, but it was also a little cramped.
It's true. And Miffy finds herself heading to the hole, but with no buds. Quite sad.
We
Now it's just a hole.
We come upon the fork in the road to the apartment and the butthole, and we're like, Miffy, sure you don't want to stay in the apartment with us?
No, I wanna visit the old place, spend some time there, reminisce and whatnot.
Okay, well, if you want to come by after your reminiscing, just come on over and give the secret knock.
What's our secret knock?
You know.
It's just a knock.
Well,
okay.
We gotta do it in a Miffy-like manner.
Right.
Oh, see you.
And with
I'm
that,
assuming no one can hear me knocking.
no one can hear that.
Okay.
Miffy's knock is just the scene from The Shining where Jack Nicholson axes through the door and goes, "It's Miffy!" That's how that scene went, right?
Good imagery.
So yeah. All right. So in that case, we'll start by following Milo and Ember with the catbird agent of the Marquis. The apartment that she takes you to, it certainly does. There's a little bit of a squeeze to get there, as you basically enter another apartment and then use a secret door to go through a narrow passage hidden by renovations up to an abandoned set of rooms. From here, it overlooks the docks and warehouses. In some places, you can see old shacks that are almost completely frozen over, some of which have collapsed from recent storms, and bonfires dot the routes where people gather to cook and get warm in the dark.
She said the thing. She said root.
Yay! End credits.
All right, let's just. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
And but unlike the Budhole, which we have avoided here, this window does actually close, insulating you at least somewhat from the cold. And there's supplies here. You can tell that Ella has used it as a place to stash some emergency things. There's not exactly delicious, but rations of various types, though a few of those preserves are preserved here to try to bring some energy, or rather some taste to the otherwise dry rations if they were needed. There's a store of blankets, changes of clothes, all that kind of stuff. So even though it's not exactly comfortable housing, it's certainly, like you feel like you got stuff, right? Like it's adequate. It is a place to stay, a place to remain. Once she showed you about, and you got your own things that you set about to make yourself comfortable. She says, I know all of you have been traveling, so I won't take too much of your time before you rest, but I told the Marquis I needed some extra agents so I could make, riskier moves. There wasn't much more I could find out on my own. But, they couldn't get me a message about who you were faster than you could get here yourselves. I don't really know who you are or what you're good at. Just, what are your talents exactly?
Am I here?
No, you're separated.
No.
Okay.
You're at the butthole.
Don't worry, we'll get to you, Miffy, in a bit.
Well, I'm a bit of a raconteur, if you will, a bard. I tell tales and sing songs and quite nifty with the bow at times. Ember here, just Oh, she can get in and out of places. She's just a sweetie pie.
Grins with teeth.
Yeah. And Miffy, the one who went to the other residence here, well, she's what we call a disruptor.
She's very good at it.
Now, if you need us in some way... Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you say disruptor, are you implying violence when you say it in some way?
I'm being vague at that part.
Being vague at that one. Alright, in that case... Understood. I think. At least for some of it. Well, it's good to know. I won't...
Yeah, feel free to ask if you need anything else.
Well, tomorrow I certainly will. We'll
Sweet.
talk. I think we may have talked a little bit earlier about what exactly needs to be done, but tomorrow we can talk specifics. This will give me some context to start coming up with ideas while I rest myself.
I will be more awake tomorrow, for sure.
If you got any more of that preserves, perhaps in a different flavor, you pass it on down to us.
I'm sure I can find a few spares here or there. They can make their way over. She says with a
Much obliged.
bit of a smile. And if you will indulge me, one last question. You're helping us for a reason, right? Or is this just a paycheck to you?
There's a reason. Goes a bit more beyond the monetary asset.
It sounds like it's not something you're keen on sharing.
It got nothing to do with the Eyrie and the Marquis at this point, so I guess it's not really in your purview.
I see. Well, you all can certainly keep your secrets. I'm not going to question my allies' decision to send you here. But I look forward to working with you tomorrow. Rest up.
Well, you take it. You come on back now. You hear?
Yeah, I will tomorrow.
And I that's just sometimes. Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Smilo.
Sorry, I'm just starting to sweat, and all these ropes I put on to escape the cold. Now I can't escape the heat.
We've been traveling for a bit.
Yeah.
Yes, well, get a good night's sleep. And she'll close the door behind her as she heads out. Are there any conversations Ember and Milo wish to have before we move over to Miffy?
Not that I can think
I
of.
think we just kind of chat a bit, but nothing like pertaining to the story, I guess.
Yeah, I offer takeout if he knows where to find food.
You got Grub? That Grub app? I like Grub.
And so we leave Milo and Ember discussing what they're going to have for dinner that night, and go over to Miffy a little bit earlier as she crosses through the town of Featherflight, through the shacks that line the docks and the roots of the great trees. Miffy, on your way back to the Mudhole, you pass by several buildings familiar to you. Ones where years ago, years ago you knew the inhabitants, but now as you pass them by, the buildings have either fallen into disrepair, abandoned, or through the lights in the windows, you can see people and faces that you don't recognize any longer within.
The town's really changed.
Damn.
Certainly has. But one place has stayed the same, almost hauntingly so, as when you arrive at the Mudhole, It is in the same state that you and your companions left it earlier that day. While it may have served its purpose as a hideaway maybe a few times since you've last been here, it certainly hasn't seen any recently. It's cold and in disrepair, but this space does feel, well, maybe, I don't know, it's up to you, I suppose, if it feels like it's still yours. At the very least, it's untouched, unchanged, right?
Mm-mm.
Is there anything in particular if he does to
probably it's both mine and not mine. It looks a little run down and a few things have shifted around and I can tell someone's definitely been here since I have left, but it still kind of like smells like me, you know? Has that stink about it.
It's become sort of a liminal butthole.
Wow.
Well, Miffy, is there a particular way that you settle in? Right? Like you just curl up in a corner with a blanket? Do you stare out a window? What does Miffy do to get comfortable?
I imagine that I had some kind of like secret nook that I would put stuff in. I want to see if that's been discovered or not.
Oh, it's like a secret little, like a drawer somewhere, or like a hidden panel.
Yeah, it's just like a nook in the tree that only tiny fingers can go through and, put something in.
Yeah, what would Miffy have left there last time she was here?
Probably something like a couple of coins, maybe like a lucky coin or something. Maybe a note to whoever finds this spot that if you take stuff from it, you'll be haunted. Yeah. Maybe a pet rock.
Aww.
Yeah, I imagine, Miffy, that you find this little supply, little hidden storage space of yours, undisturbed. You find the handful of coins, the pet rock, take out the note, and you see it's the same one about being, like, if you take this, you'll be haunted.
Oh no, Miffy.
You can tell that, like, oh, well, no one found this particular place, though it does feel like a poltergeist has moved through all the same and rearranged just enough of, just enough of it that it doesn't feel like, well, not of this small hidden place, but, the butthole as a whole, that, it's not exactly as you left it. But, no, this is still here. What was the last time you hid out here, Miffy? Was it after you survived, or did you not risk coming back to this place after that?
I think it was Miffy knew something was wrong and stopped by this place right before she had to skedaddle. But it was like in a rush, right? Grabbing whatever belongings I thought I needed to take.
Right. Hurried ruffle through, take the supplies you need to travel, take the supplies you might need to survive on the road, because just a shiver, right, that something would be going wrong, that you need to hoof it somewhere.
I don't have hooves, but yeah.
Yep. Well,
Get out of there.
with your supplies intact, does Miffy bundle up? Wrap up in some blankets somewhere in a corner?
I think she'll have to. It's too cold not to, so just a big... I think, she would rearrange the furniture so it feels more like... or whatever's left of it, right? Anything that feels out of place, rearrange it, then go into the corner of the butthole, and then wrap in blanket and just kind of, sleep sitting up.
Miffy starts to drift off to sleep, sitting up with everything back in its
With
place.
a knife in my pillow.
Right, of
Ow.
course. I mean, I feel like that's always true of Miffy, right? Like,
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify.
just in case for the impending ambush.
Just in case.
And so, as Miffy drifts off, memories flooding back of home, of what happened with her last job with the company, of the Budhole in previous times you were here. Miffy, how long have you been visiting this place? Did you and your family build it? Was it around when you were a child?
I assumed it was like sort of nature made at first, and then Miffy discovered it when she was younger. And this is a place I don't think the parents would know about. It's only the siblings, unless any of them is a rat and not a mouse, you know?
Right,
like if they
the siblings,
if
maybe
they
the one
clap.
cool cousin, right? Like,
Right. So I mean, like there's definitely been work done to it, but it was originally just like a natural hole that eventually got carved out for little rascals.
Yeah, and so as Miffy drifts off to sleep, you get those blinking, fading of the inside of the Budhole, and the perspective shifting to where perhaps as Miffy once viewed it a long time ago. Yep, but it is no longer a long time ago. It is the presence. At the present, and the next day comes all the same. As the light is restored with the furniture back in its proper place, if you can see some signs of where people have hidden out here that you didn't notice the night before, perhaps a few tally marks etched in to a table as someone was keeping track of the days to lay low. You find some, you spot some old rations that it looks like someone brought a big supply in and didn't quite eat them all. But whoever, much like the buildings that you passed on the way here, whoever came is likely long gone. What was once here in Featherflight, scattered, not to return. But you rejoin your party members, I assume.
I mean, yeah. Next day.
Next day, we rejoin the group.
I'm like, yeah, I slept so well, and then I like pop my back and crack my neck, and all my joints pop.
Oh God. Miffy, that went in for like 5 minutes.
Whoa, that was a really good nap.
Well, I'm glad you had a good night of sleep. That was fine. How about you, Ember? Oh, they're still sleeping.
She's still asleep.
Oh, well, so, we're just waiting here for Ella to stop by and give us permission.
Yep. And by that, we're just waiting for Ember to wake up to meet up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So, do you only have...
what does your sleep paralysis demon look like?
I don't know. Miffy certainly doesn't look like anyone I know.
Mine's a huge caterpillar.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty frightening. Does it come out of the wall or?
It does come out of the wall.
Oh.
How did you know? Did it visit you too?
Oh God, no. Let's not think about that. Besides your the butthole you took us to, do you have any other buttholes?
No, I just have a singular butthole.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess
But
most people
I
do.
do know the place a little bit. I mean, it has changed since I've been there. Not too many people I know, which is probably a good thing, to be honest. But yeah, I bet there's like a bakery somewhere that I recall. Hopefully, I don't know. Wow, sure taking a while for Ember to wake up.
Well, she needs her beauty sleep.
That's
So
true.
it's good to eat around here.
Well, I've always been partial to the cheese bread that's been around here.
How's the gruel over here?
You with the fucking gruel.
I got a kind of a taste for it on the road. You don't have a lot of resources. Sometimes you gotta make do.
I didn't really frequent the gruel shops, but I'm sure you can find something here. Who is the greasiest person I remember here? I think it was Big Joe. Big Joe might have some good slop for you.
Well, I prefer my gruel ungreasy, but if you insist.
The classic different gruel subtypes: greasy, non-greasy.
Oh, I prefer the Westwood gruel, not the Eastwood gruel with all its grease. Just a preference.
But that's where all the flavor lives.
You can add some herbs and spices to it, make it a bit more flavorful.
Yeah.
Go to Miffy, or to go to the general topic, to just keep riffing while we wait for Ember to wake up. Hopefully there's not an issue or disconnect over there. But yeah, Miffy, you probably would know plenty of places to eat, and even if the exact spot is no longer open, things have always been popping up and shutting down along the docks. Like with the various ship workers coming and going, there's always a market for fresh food in the morning and in the evening, right, when the boats come back or when they first head out. Middle of the day, you'd probably head closer to the trees themselves, where anyone working in the warehouses or shipping things up and down would likely be. Oh, I think Ember is awake.
Yeah.
Hello!
Well, they're stirring. Oh, good morning, sunshine.
I really needed that nap. Wait. Was it a nap? What year is it?
The year of... Actually, I don't know. Hold on.
You're the wood
For real
tiger.
questions.
It's
Hold on,
year
let me show you
33.
here. 33, there we go.
Okay. I didn't sleep too long.
Is that the year it's supposed to be?
Yes, the year's supposed to be.
Okay, good.
It's current year. It's current year.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Yeah. everyone's
Oh,
awake
is
now.
Miffy here?
Yep.
I'm here.
Hi!
Chatting up a little bit.
And just talking about...
Welcome.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Mila. Is that her name?
Ella.
Ella. Why did I think it was Mila?
I don't know.
Mila Jovovich.
But now that Ember's awake, she'll mysteriously show up. What great timing.
Oh, how
Hey!
convenient. Hi, Ella.
Morning. Alright, she has a couple of papers in her hands. Well, some different flavored preserves as requested.
Ooh.
Various biscuits and things, or breads to, eat them with. And
Okay.
people are free to snack as she explains what's
Yum,
happening
yum, yum.
in this neck of the woods. So, a few days ago, 3 before you arrived, the company received a shipment of something valuable, something related to this negotiation they've been having with the Eyrie. I haven't been able to find out exactly what it is, not yet. But even though things have been pretty quiet on the docks the last 2 months, they spared no expense for the security of this shipment. They did a full sweep of the dock where it arrived, cleared the alleys, threw out people squatting in shacks. They unloaded the whole ship, sent it topside in the same day. No leaving the crates in a warehouse anywhere.
Dang.
Only company employees moving things too. Often they'll hire out to local contractors to do the grunt work, but not this time. Of course, they were also joined by Eyrie guards for the journey, and as far as I can tell, the delivery was taken straight to the manor of Captain Castor. And that's the name that you guys gave that helped get you this job, the person that you were looking for, the one that Miffy knows. And to mark this delivery, and to make things even more significant, I've caught wind that in 2 days, Great Lord Melanor Alba will be visiting Captain Castor at her manor, which is very unusual. Usually Captain Castor would be the one going to the Great Lord's estate. Miffy, I think we're getting some feedback from you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We're getting audio feedback.
Miffy's not wearing a wire, we swear.
I'll try to remember to mute while I'm not talking.
Sounds good. Not only that, but about a month ago, the Eyrie's military has not only increased in training drills, not just on their land units, but especially their aerial units and archers. They've also been recruiting additional folk for the last 2 or 3 months, but those recruitment drives have really been winding up. Whatever deal the Eyrie and the company are working on, it's close to getting sealed. And whatever this delivery was, it's essential to it. So we need to get up there and at minimum find out what it is they're agreeing on. And if there's a way for us to interfere with it, that's what we're going to do.
Now, this person you were talking about going up to Castor's, they an Eyrie or company folk?
Yes, the Great Lord is an Eyrie noble, one of the... And as the title may indicate, he's one of the upper Eyrie nobles. He comes from a particularly well-established family, both in terms of history and wealth. And he's the one behind a lot of the Eyrie's recent military successes, specifically the capture of Ironroot.
Ironroot, you say?
That's right.
All right. Now, this Eyrie Lord, feel we can deal with them. I've had my share of experience with the Eyrie nobles, and I feel like I can get my talons into them, if you know what I mean.
If it comes
No
to...
one laughs.
there's probably no laughter, but she probably does nod, right? Like, we may need to, even if only to delay him or distract him. I don't know how much we'll be able to redirect him. That depends entirely on what the company is promising him.
Now, them going up to the manor, it seems like a big occasion. Will that mean a big soiree, perhaps, for the occasion?
Not as far as I can tell. There doesn't seem to be any preparations of that sort. But it certainly is an occasion. I would expect the Great Lord to have his personal guard with him, and Captain Castor keeps her manor guarded with purely company staff as well. So there will be plenty of people there, just perhaps not the sort we can easily mingle with. But Castor does have employees, attendants who are not guards, who perhaps we could hide ourselves away in. I don't know how likely it is she has memorized the face of every worker in her manor. Of course, we're getting ahead of ourselves too. Before we figure out how to get in the manor, we have to get to the upper floors of Featherflight. Now, I'm capable of flight, but for me, with all of these patrols and military exercises, if I'm going to fly up there, I need to go the long way. I need to go out into the woodlands, fly up into the canopy there, and then cross when it looks like everything's clear. This will take me the better part of a day just to get that far up and then back.
Ugh. Long.
Yeah, it's roundabout, but I've done it many times. I'm confident I can get there undetected, even with the increase in patrols. But that's, needless to say, that's not something that all of us could do. In fact, that's something only I could do.
Milo kind of shifts around like, do I have wings?
No, I don't think so.
I'll maybe just... no.
Maybe
Okay,
if you
yeah.
just molt.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I am due for one of those. But the cold just makes it so hard.
I'm sure we'll find a way up.
Now, if you need me to assist you, I could come with you. But there are also some benefits of splitting up, so that if something goes wrong with one group, the other might assist them.
Mm-hmm.
But first, when we
Ember,
figure
how
out...
good are you? Are you at disguise again? Do you have like a special skill, disguise or something?
Well, she just melts into a roll, so I assume yes.
True. I don't have anything special, but I do have hide. I can hide really well. And also sneak. And I know how to do makeup, and I can buy some new clothes.
Yeah. And,
speaking of clothing, I think the most difficult part is going to be getting to the top of Featherflight. Once we're up there, if you look and act like you belong, then I don't think, as long as you don't do anything to rouse suspicion, anyone will come for you. Sure, it is mostly birdfolk up there, but Captain Castor, her retinue, some other company folk, and even some of the wealthier local merchants who have yet, and she emphasizes that, to join the company, do live up there. So with the right attire, and she would open up one of the bags, and I will put this... I'll put this in the party stuff folder. But there is now some Eyrie high fashion, parentheses, non-bird, that you all can decide if you want to take or not. But this would help make you blend in. But it's hard to fight in. It makes it hard to do combat, and you can't really easily disrobe when a fight breaks out most of the time.
This is not GM loot?
It should be under party stuff.
I'm
In
not.
the item
I'm
folder.
seeing friendly clothes.
items. Party stuff, I see it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a,
Oh! When you were saying party, I thought you meant like adventuring party, not party.
Oh, no, not that kind of party. Adventuring party, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
here we
Okay,
go.
I see it, yeah.
It has just appeared.
Yep, there you go. Okay.
Clothing placeholder. Okay, maybe not that one.
Yeah, no, it's not clothing placeholder. That one, I think, was an earlier clothing item that someone... we don't need that placeholder. Goodbye.
No,
Regalia.
this is the Eyrie high fashion non-bird.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to move
So-
the regalia and coins because those are gone anyway. So I'll put them in the old loot folder.
I don't see it.
Do you not see the party stuff folder?
I see party stuff. I see the crossbow friendly clothes.
That's not
Try
in the
clicking
folder.
on
Click
the
on the
stuff.
folder to open it.
Yeah.
Folder.
Oh. Wait. Okay, I see it now.
I don't know that all of this stuff is stuff you actually have in the party, but I just, you know what, that's fine. Just leave it. I'm just leaving it there for now. You have what you have on your sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Are there no,
Ooh.
bodyguard looking creatures? What does the company wear? Did this?
When they're off duty, they'll tend to wear something like this, or at least the captains will tend to. The guard, not as much, no. But I don't have anything. Ooh. I don't have anything of theirs. They don't wear a uniform off duty. You don't need to take one of these, but it will help you blend.
Mm-hmm.
Is there somewhere we can buy Miffy some guard stuff?
Buy guard stuff. That one. She's like, it's not as easy to get. It's not particularly easy to get your hand on Eyrie guard gear, and that would be obviously unsuitable to a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we could find something of the company's secondhand. I don't know. They're profit motivated. I haven't had much luck just finding it easily. We could look around to see what we can find.
What if we wear one really big coat and then stack on top of each other?
I think we would be too tall.
Yeah, you might.
We could pretend to be the nightmare creature.
Oh my gosh.
Someone just like hides me in their pocket, you know?
I mean, we don't have to do anything immediately, do we? I know the pressure's on, but we can at least scope out the situation before we commit to anything. The best way to do that would be to dress in some Eyrie regalia.
I guess.
Although, Miffy, you might need to Yes, we are reaching a place. I guess we got to breach this subject, but Miffy has some history with Castor, and I don't know how well they might know about Miffy still being around, so I guess we need to tread carefully around that when we get there. We don't want to raise any suspicion, especially with
someone like Miffy. Understood. And to be clear, to be clear, these clothes won't help you get up to the upper floors. They'll just help you fit in once you're there. When you get up there, they're pretty strict. They'll check to see if you have the right paperwork to ascend, or if you're making a delivery to make it up there.
Well, do you have any, about those papers, do you have any idea what they might look like? I might be able to whip us up something passable.
As far as I know, it varies depending on the business and the noble. But when she says that, Miffy, you're like, surely the company paperwork hasn't changed that much, right? If your last ploy worked, you might be able to fake a company delivery, maybe? And she did say earlier that this recent shipment was an exception and that it was transported by all company guard. Usually they send locals to do the grunt lifting, you know? That is an option.
I feel pretty confident that we can at least get past that as well.
Oh, Miffy, I've got a Eyrie guard baton if you want that.
That works. Do you have anything else for yourself, though?
I've got the collapsible spear from the Marquis.
Oh, yes, okay. Well, you can hand that off to me for that. Oh, wait, what? Don't I have something? I thought I had something Eyrie-like. Is the needle knife? No, that's chipmunk. I have the Featherflight armor, but I don't know if that actually... Anyway,
let me take a look.
How do I give it to you?
All right.
Yeah, I wonder. This tabletop's usually not the best about dragging stuff from one person to another, but let me see if I can just. Oop.
You can drag it. Does it?
Yay. All right.
Okay.
Perfect. I'll remove it from Ember.
Sweet.
You know, I'll put one in the party pile as well, just so it doesn't get lost. Don't forget to check your total load when you guys pick up stuff as well.
Yeah, what does being burdened do?
Good question. Let me consult the rulebook.
Because Miffy, I can't. If I put on this regalia, I don't know if I can carry both my tambourine and my crossbow at the same time.
Wait, so is carrying how much load we have?
Yep, carrying is how much you have. Load is how much you can carry comfortably. If you go over your maximum, then so what burden means is that you are slow and you're not able to move quickly or easily. And it specifically says the GM will make moves as appropriate. So that means I am at liberty to take advantage of the fact that you cannot move quickly, right?
The carrying
I have
number.
plenty of carrying capacity. I have only 5 out of 12.
Dang.
Right. I don't think that's true.
Well, all my things say load 1, and I only have 5 pieces.
That's
Right,
Max
you become
twice
burdened at
burden.
6. You become burdened at 6. Max is 12.
Max is twice burdened. My bad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let me
So-
double check if it's meet or exceeds. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah, so if it exceeds. So Miffy, you can carry up to 6 without having issue.
Okay, can I get rid of these Eyrie coins? Can I give that to her?
Okay, if it's exceed, then
I'll take them.
Aren't you already okay? As long as you're carrying capacity. I mean, like, doesn't really matter.
There you go.
Yeah, I am burdened at 5, and with the coins, I'm only carrying 4.
Okay.
I'm carrying 3 and burden at 3, so I shouldn't get a penalty, right?
No penalties until you
Okay.
hit 4.
Gotcha. All right.
Yep.
You were close, but not there.
So, making a shipment should be good. You just need some crates. I know we have some spare ones around the warehouse, but in case things go wrong, I don't want to use anything. I don't want to give you a shipment from the warehouse itself if we can avoid
Of
it,
course.
right?
Yeah.
That is my base of operations, and if we can avoid burning that would be ideal. But if we have no other option, we can. Certainly, I can get you unmarked boxes. What you'll need is something that at least seems to have value to fill them, and enough boxes so that 3 couriers is appropriate. And then you'll also need, well, I guess if you're making it come from the company, then you'll just need a company boat to claim its origination point, but that should be easy enough. We can spot some from here.
We go to the window.
Yeah, you can spot a couple of boats. It's kind of hard to read the nameplates from this far away, but with some persistence, you can get down a couple ideas there. So it's really now just, what are you going to be transporting?
What do we got?
Me!
we cake Miffy and plaster of Paris and transport her as a statue.
Oh, wait, I kind of like that statue idea, though.
Can
like
you stay still for that long?
No, we'll encase her. She won't be able to move until just the right time.
I
Well,
see no drawbacks for this plan.
The statue of the person Castor burned really bad and thought was dead for years.
oh my gosh.
It'd be like a Trojan horse situation. Whatever that is.
I do think
A toad and horse situation.
Yeah, I do think
Actually-
that these coins can help with some bribery once we're up top, but I don't know that they'll help us at all before we get there.
Yeah. Also, Miffy knows about Troy and horses. Thinks that both
Yeah.
definitely exist in Root.
Horses are some kind of mythical creature. They're like bears, but skinnier.
Faster.
I think they're just as terrifying, honestly.
I've always heard Ella would say that they're like a moose, but without horns.
Oh.
Or without
That's not
antlers.
better.
Yeah,
That's not better.
no, that's worse. What's a
They don't
moose
go to the
without
rave
antlers?
then?
Sorry,
I
just
hear
want-
that it's like they have 18 legs to stomp you to death.
Oh. Ugh.
I'm glad we don't
I'm
have
not gonna
those.
get close enough for that.
Well, maybe we shouldn't let Miffy be a horse then. Is that what we're talking about?
I forget what we're talking about.
You're talking
Can
about
you
statues.
imagine? Sorry. Anyway.
Oh, we were talking about statues.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
Other things that we could pass off as valuables.
it doesn't even necessarily need to be valuable. It just needs to be something that's plausible to be brought up there. Like,
Wait,
theoretically,
I have a great idea.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so it's winter time, and you know what's a great treat at winter time?
Frozen maple syrup.
Snow cones! That's the only time you can get them. We have a big pile of snow cones
Miffy,
and a
Miffy.
snow cone machine.
Miss Miffy,
What?
I don't want to ask this, but what flavor are those snow cones going to be?
Lemon!
All right, okay, I'm vetoing this idea.
Listen, not everybody likes the taste of gruel.
Well, that idea might have merit.
Ella
maybe
thinks
we
for a
could-
second, says, we have a bunch of the preserves here in this room.
Yeah, she's got fruit.
Oh, so we
those?
put the fruit
Yes.
inside the snow cones. We serve it as a new sort of like bun treat. Oh, that's
Yes, and
genius.
we play a funny tune. You can be our music. So we'll be like a snow cone delivery machine.
Hello there.
Yep.
Oh, I can see it, Miffy. It's genius.
Yeah, you do a catchy jingle to catch everybody's attention.
And then
Okay,
Miffy
well, we need
live shreds a block of ice into with a knife.
This works. This is good. This is good.
Is it though?
Yes.
Any other
Yes.
ideas?
We're selling. No,
Yeah.
this is the idea we're going
I mean, I was thinking maybe like we get some coal or some charcoal or firewood, bring it up, But I guess
Oh,
we
what
are on
about-
a tree.
What about nuts?
Well, see,
Ooh, nuts.
they've got they let merchants up there, right? We don't pass as bodyguards or whatever. We're selling our wares, a seasonal treat for all to enjoy.
Or more specifically, for the fancy people with money to enjoy.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we can make money too.
Well,
Don't get too
The
carried
company's
away.
gonna wish they took me up on this idea.
I see.
oh, I guess you were always supposed to be an idea person, Miffy.
Yeah, that was really my true calling before the crime.
I mean, who's
Alas.
to say sometimes merchantry isn't crime?
Voice in the sky, what do you think?
What I think is irrelevant. What Ella thinks, the one who can respond to you, says, well, you're
Why are you
right,
talking
they
to a
do
voice
have
in the
merchants
sky?
up there. Usually those merchants would have someone they know up top, but with your forged documents, you can just pretend that you do, right? You'll have a shipment, or rather than being a shipment delivered to someone, you can forge who you are invited by. Sure, sell some stuff too, make a little coin on the side, just don't forget we are only working with 2 days here. You don't have much time. Though,
What's
I s-
great about this is because we can chat with anybody who's buying our wares.
yes, I think there is something to be said about gaining the, learning about the current thoughts circulating up above. And as much as I did just say that we have 2 days, if we were to be able to eavesdrop on the meeting between Castor and the Great Lord, then I think we would have, in rather unambiguous terms, what their deal would be. It's just a question of do we want to wait for it to get to that point? Maybe we could figure it out ourselves if we go in earlier. Depending on what it is, it might be difficult to put together. She shrugs.
Can I fashion together an ice cream cone mascot, a snow cone mascot thing for me to wear?
A mascot
And then when the
outfit?
time comes, I dramatically rip it off and murder everybody?
I mean, Miffy, you know what? We'll put that on the board. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming.
Hey, Miffy,
Yes.
it's gonna be snow cones, right?
Yeah, snow cones.
Just have it be tiger's blood.
Huh?
With the tiger.
That's a flavor.
Oh.
What flavor is that?
Oh, it's like a berry?
I think so.
Oh, we'll
It
try that
tastes
out.
good, whatever it is.
Oh, good. Oh, you've had it before?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'll try it.
Oh, I just looked up
Also-
what this is. It sounds good to me.
Yes, it is.
Now, as we're brainstorming here, I just had a crazy thought. Miffy, your butthole.
Yeah.
It's within the big tree, right? In the manor. It's nestled upon the big tree, right?
I don't actually know that. Is it?
Voice of the Sky, can I get a little help on this theory?
Can confirm. Basically, how this clearing works is there's several redwoods close together. And then at the top, the canopies of those have been reinforced to make it into one large... Think of it almost like a floating island, right? That's suspended by these 4 or 5 redwood trees. So yeah, the butthole is at the base of one of these, but they are redwood trees. They are quite tall, right?
Yeah.
Now, Miffy,
I figured if there was like some kind of secret passage, I would have found that already.
But what if you made our own? We made our own.
That would take a while.
This tree is like 90 feet tall.
You tell me you can't chew that much bark.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I can't do that.
Well, I'll put that plan in the maybe column then.
What we can do if we had any kind of we had some copper wire, right? Maybe we could like snake it into the tree, and I could hear things from it. You know, like a really, really long vibration telephone. But I don't know if that'll really help us.
Okay, I'll also put that in the maybe column.
Yeah, Ella would
But
say, like,
right now,
if we had
seems
one
like
of
the
the
snow
marquees,
cone idea.
if we had one of the marquees excavators, making a tunnel up wouldn't be a problem. Though the noise certainly would be. Would not be a subtle way to get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can do subtle, but if we have a high value target, perhaps we can forego the subtleties. But the snow cone idea, I think, might have some merit.
Yes.
All right. My very
When has a
important-
Miffy plan ever gone? When has a Miffy plan ever gone wrong for us?
It's always the good idea.
I gotta admit, it is.
So speaking of good ideas, are we making Miffy a snow cone mascot outfit? Is that what's happening?
Can I make
Well-
it? Yeah, can I do that?
I think Miffy, you would have to design it. Or well, if you wanted to
I'm
play
just
a role, you would
imagining
design
a big
it.
sphere, like made out of cardboard, painted white or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could potentially design it, but then I think it falls to Milo and Ember to actually build it around you.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be built around me? Can't it just have a hole for my head in?
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I
I thought you
know
were
it
talking
is.
about like a full body mascot outfit.
No, just the head.
Oh.
Okay.
okay.
I thought you
You're
were
like,
gonna
well,
be
we need
like
someone
something
to zip
cold.
you up.
Yeah, like I thought when you said snow cone outfit, I thought you meant like your body was gonna be in a cone, like a big
Yeah, I
cone,
was
and like
thinking
your
that
head
too.
was gonna be the big.
No, I feel like realistically it would just be the head, and maybe my clothes would be like normal
Yeah.
clothes, but maybe brighter. I don't know.
Fair enough.
All right, I think the group can work together on this. All right, that sounds fair. So
All
let's see. We have here's our here's what I'm hearing as our main points of this. We're going to make an outfit.
Mhm.
This is the benefits of this is that Miffy won't be recognized, at least while wearing the outfit, right? Like that's the primary goal there. We're
Yes.
going to forge some documents because you need those to actually get up top. And then assuming you manage to make it up top, you're going to sell your wares, which means you are going to be lugging crates full of ice and flavors, like, various jars of fruity flavors. But then you'll be selling wares and gathering info. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think what's going to happen is the first roll is going to be making the outfit. If we completely botch making the outfit, it will not penalize the second roll. You just won't have a disguise for Miffy. And if things go wrong, well, Miffy might get noticed, right? Like that's going to be the consequences. You just won't have that security. But I don't think they'd be more likely to turn you away because you don't have a costumed person with you. So
Yeah, okay. Before we move on to that, I have a question about depletion.
Oh, yes.
So, do I get depletion removed for sleeping and eating in a secure location?
Yeah, let me take a look to see how much you guys will get back. I think it makes sense to get at least some resupplying here.
Yeah. Especially with Ella, showing us the lair and giving us supplies.
Mhm.
We take some MREs with us when we leave the safe house.
That sounds good. Let's see.
Do I also get any?
I would say, yeah, you can get some the next morning as well. I would say clear 2 each. That
Okay.
corresponds to a decent wage from a denizen, rummaging through a whole house, like that level of stuff. So I think that's about fair for a day of preparation, or rather a morning of preparation. We'll say you spend half the day, restocking, putting together all this stuff, and then start making your way up in the afternoon. And then, oh yeah, right, one more thing before I forget. Miffy, weren't you going to ask about something?
I guess I would ask about what she knows about my mentor currently.
Oh, okay. That wasn't what I meant, but yeah, we can talk about that
Oh
too.
no! What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, weren't you told that this agent had some subtle weapons of violence that you were asking
Oh yeah,
about?
my poisoned ring.
Yeah, Miffy, how do you
Like
broach that subject?
So I heard that you might have something, very, a statement piece that I could have, perhaps. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Perhaps you're insinuating one of these. I'll drop this into the party stuff as well to look at. There are only 2 of these. Ella will part with one simply. You may have to convince her if you want to get both of them, but otherwise she'll keep the other one for herself.
Ooh.
But there's a cat's claw ring. She'll take one off and place it down. It looks relatively simple from above. It's like a metal ring that resembles a claw, but if you turn it over, there's a bunch of little hidden mechanisms and tiny little levers that can be manipulated with one's nail.
Oh, that's sick as hell.
And the best part is all of the mechanisms are completely hidden thanks to the poof of feathers or fur or, whatever else you've got. So it's a...
Chitin.
Yeah, chitin. Nestled between the chitin. So,
Can you tell me the mechanics of it before I decide if I want both of them? Is it like a one-shot use?
well, again, you might have to persuade for that. So that these do have 0 load, so they take no carrying capacity. They have 3 boxes of wear. You do need to be in intimate range with someone to use it, or rather, use it normally. Basically, whenever you attack someone, you can mark wear on this equipment to deal a harm by injecting poison into them. So
Woo!
If you're attacking with a knife, you can mark wear to deal an extra damage, or if you just want to go for a, like a casual swipe at someone subtly without a weapon, you can still deal just the one, but it marks 1 wear as you're expending the poison stored in it, right? So you can only really
You can
do
use
that
it 3 times.
3 times at most. It's generally not viewed as a threat because it looks inconspicuous. And finally, as an alternative use, you can, instead of using it as a part of an attack, you can fire the claw of the ring a short distance, but that expends all remaining doses of poison in one go. Basically just like, shoot the needle. And that does 3 harm on a strong hit. On a weak hit, just 1 harm. So.
Ooh. Okay.
Actually, I don't think I say it in the description, but like most ranged weapons, that would use finesse. So I'll edit that to.
All right, okay. So, do you plan on getting into any trouble?
Plan on it? No, but I like to have some manner of insurance policy.
That's all you got, huh?
That and my swift wings. Not exactly easy to carry weaponry while making such a long flight and remaining inconspicuous.
Well, how do the guards do it?
They don't have to remain inconspicuous.
Not even when they're planning an attack?
Well, Miffy, they're guards. They just guard. They don't attack.
I don't know about that.
I don't know how often the Eyrie guards here surprise attack anything. They've been rather out in the open.
Well, it sounded like you were pretty sure you would be able to go there inconspicuously because you're going the long way, so maybe, since you'll probably not be in trouble, and then we will probably be more in danger, it might behoove you to perhaps supply us with a little more, you know?
I like your strategy is give me this thing because we're gonna be in trouble. I'll mark one. NPCs have a harm track called morale. I'll just mark a negative morale on her and have her give you the ring.
Oh
my god.
Did Miffy just nag her way into a ring?
Yep.
No.
It's less like, nagging in the
Guilting?
Yeah, it's more like, oh, maybe I overestimated you guys, right? Like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a loss of hope.
Listen, you made the right choice. The person that we're facing, well, they're a behemoth of a person, of our animal, whatever. And if we get into trouble, well, they need to go down immediately. No time to dilly-dally. So, you made the right choice here.
All right, if you're sure. I mean, I don't disagree that if it comes to violence, Captain Castor is quite dangerous. Her reputation does precede her.
You want my baton?
You gonna trade now?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I mean, she can have it, I guess.
It does look easy enough to carry. I could take it if you have no use for it, but if you need it, if you think you'll need it up ahead, sounds like you might need all of the tools you can get your hands on.
I work better with a knife, honestly.
Are you giving away Ember's melee weapon? No,
So,
Ember has
so
a spear.
I'm
Ember
just
has a
like
spear.
looking at the actual stats though. So they're both intimate, they're both close. This one has a parry, but I don't. What is it? What is parry?
You don't parry.
Parry, if you don't have the weapon move parry, then it's not going to do much for you.
Okay, yeah. So I really don't need this, but
All right.
I just stole it.
Then I suppose there's no harm in me having it. Hey, you can drop it off your sheet. You'll take it.
all right. Let's make that costume.
All right. Yeah, I'll get some newspaper and glue.
Woo!
All right. What do we think? What do we think is the best role for this for creative expression?
I think it'd be perhaps cunning. What are we thinking?
Finesse.
Possibly.
I could see finesse for manual dexterity. I could maybe see cunning for planning.
What if we made it really charming?
I mean, the goal, I
Well-
suppose, is to charm people into making a purchase.
True.
You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll let you guys decide who's leading it. Use one of those 3 stats. The other 2 can help.
Do I have to roll for my counterfeit?
I believe you have a special move that means you don't have to roll, if I recall correctly. If you click on that.
Yeah, it's one of your feats, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's one of my feats, but that just means that I'm better at it. Right? Isn't that right?
I think it gives you a 12 on your rolls if you have the time.
All right, let me think about that. Or
Yep.
we'll look at
When you
it.
gain the roguish feat counterfeit, it does when you counterfeit documents using your internal knowledge of your home faction's policy procedures, mark notoriety. Yeah, so you can just choose to have them hate you more, and you get a 12 on your roll.
Yeah, I want to get the most aggro possible.
Yeah.
I forget. You have something that can double your aggro that you gain, right?
Oh.
That's my no. That's if I'm wearing my mask / coat.
So if you flip your coat inside out in counterfeit, then you gain double the aggro.
Is that really how it works?
You know, by the letter of the rules, that is how it works, but I don't think it's how it should work, so I don't know.
That doesn't really make sense to me.
You're the DM.
I think it would be something. Wait, actually, let me read. It says,
Be funny.
while you have your mask on, any notoriety you gain is doubled. Wow. Oh, and actually,
Wow.
while you have it on, you also get +1 to all scoundrel playbook moves. That's funny. Not that you're a scoundrel. But
No.
that's very funny. All right. No, okay. You don't. I would say probably don't get the extra one in this particular case, as silly as it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unless you add like a wink Miffy included in it to gain
No,
extra.
no, I don't know. That's stupid.
You know, it's like something that won't show up immediately, but like 2 days later, they'll be like, wait a minute.
Oh, it's like in Beverly Hills Cop 3 where the forged dollar bills have Axel Foley's face on it.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that, trust me.
I will have to trust you because I've not seen it. So, all right. Our
All right,
initial
so-
roll. Who wants to lead our project?
Let's see here.
If we do charm or cunning, I could, but if it's finesse, I no.
I got 1 finesse and 2 cunning, so I think a cunning roll would probably
Yeah, I
be-
think if anybody has a +2, that's the one we should roll with.
Yes.
Okay, so we plan it out. We spend the night planning out how we're going to do this. And we make sure there's a little cooling system in there so Miffy doesn't get overheated. Okay, so just a straight cunning roll?
Yes, and then whoever's not rolling can theoretically assist if needed.
Alright. So... Okay.
7, a weak hit. Well, so what we'll say for this one is, you know what? It's not like it's not going to be an award-winning outfit. It doesn't quite stand up to the props for the play that you all put on. But you know what? You spent more time and you had more time, and well, you had all these other things for it to interact with: the dialogue, the story. This one,
Yeah, this is a prototype of our mascot.
I think that's what this is. This looks more like a proof of concept than it does a like finished thing. Which,
Mhm.
as far as getting you up there, it isn't going to cause problems. It may just perhaps be a little bit fragile, so it may not endure well if it comes to being stressed. But hopefully, it doesn't get stressed at any point.
Yeah.
And that won't come up as a problem. And then Miffy, did you mark your notoriety for counterfeiting?
I did.
Woo!
All right. Well, in that case, we get this montage, I suppose, of you all spending the morning and afternoon and like into the afternoon putting together this outfit. What does the final version of this prototype looking helmet that Miffy's wearing
Look in the chat.
in
Yeah.
the chat? Oh boy, where is it? Oh,
Ew!
wait.
Miffy, no, Nova, why? Delete that, ma'am.
I just remembered about
I'm
that
gonna
guy.
save this.
No. But yeah, I picture like with our role, like the weak hit, I think it looks like that. But as we go into the manor and the longer Miffy wears it, the eyes and mouth start to droop and it looks like a Sonic popsicle.
I didn't think Miffy would wear this in the manor. I thought it was just going to be worn up top, like, you know, walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's just put
Whatever.
that on top of Miffy for now.
My face. Color.
What's your What's your mascot name, Miffy?
I took it off. Yeah, Miffy,
Okay,
what is your
good.
mascot name?
No guy.
What?
Snow guy?
No guy.
No guy.
Snow guy.
Mr. Snow.
Mr. Snow. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Snow,
Mr.
good for
Snow?
you.
Oh my god.
It's Snow good.
Yeah, that's our tagline.
All right, Mr. Snow guy.
I don't know. You guys can come up with a cuter name.
Listen, it's the first mascot ever invented, so let's go with it.
Yeah, it's got like some weird mythical human-like features that we're not sure about.
Hmm.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
definitely intimidating.
Hey, just look at its teeth. Oh,
It's like a fur. Ew.
Yeah.
It's human-like. It's bludgeoned teeth or straight teeth.
That's an interesting description.
I don't know, like little chiclets.
It's forward-facing eyes.
Looks at Milo.
What? I think it's weird.
All
Looks
right.
at your eyes.
So, with
My eyes wipe. I have a great periphery. Okay.
So the group splits from Ella, who will go her own separate way and meet up with you up top. You make this outfit, and you proceed. Does this mean that Milo and Ember are carrying the crate full of ice and flavors, or is
Yeah, I
Miffy,
like to
is Miffy like the muscle and the mascot?
I feel like we're carrying it, and Miffy's kind of like sitting on the box, kind of like doing the Mickey Mouse parade thing where they're going and waving to people who are staring at us as we deliver this thing.
I point with 3 fingers. I
Oh my god.
It's 2 fingers.
thought it was 3 because 2 is still like bad.
No, it's usually 2. But that's because, well, the myth is it's 2 because Walt Disney was a smoker. But after like he died of lung cancer, they edited out all the pictures of him with cigarettes in his hands.
I
So when
heard
he's
it was
pointing with-
because like if you point at something, it's rude, but if you have like more fingers, it's like less
Yeah,
rude.
I mean that's like the general thing of it. But I think it's specifically 2. But yeah, same idea.
I've got a might +1, so I can carry some. What?
I can help. I mean, I have a -2.
I will
No, but-
do more.
I mean, if we have to
I'm
roll
sure I
for
can
it, we
still help.
I don't think you don't have to roll for it. I just wanted to know what the guards are seeing approach them. That's what I wanted to know.
Mhm.
Right? Like I wanted to know if it was if Miffy is out here in this outfit handing out paperwork, or if Miffy's like this Frankenstein's monster carrying crates behind the 2 of you dressed in nice clothing. Oh yeah, who actually has nice clothing?
I do.
Me too. Yeah, we're
Okay,
both wearing.
Both of you
I'm
have the
wearing
nice
Eyrie
clothes.
regalia.
I have friendly clothing too.
Oh, nice
Ooh.
and wow, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
So, yeah, it would probably behoove me to wear the friendly clothes while trying to get up there, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right, so with Ember and Miffy perhaps doing the bulk of the lifting, but Milo helps. You're able
I
to
direct.
cross through town, drawing no shortage of eyes as you do because of this whimsical disguise.
True.
From the way people stare, a lot of people are just not sure what they're looking at. Like when you pass through some areas, some people are like, "Is this going to be a crime? Like is this a crime waiting to happen? Someone hiding their
Can I hand out little samples of our product?
Oh yeah.
Oh, little samples. Okay.
I want to hand them out.
Okay, so like
Milo
every so
makes
often
some
we
and
kind of
yeah.
every so often we kind of stop and like do a little like demonstration and dance. You there? Would you like a Mr. Snow Good ice cream? Or not ice cream, snow cone? It's Snow Good. And I'm putting on this affectation.
I pretty love that.
I love how it's snow good could be it's so good or it's no good, and I think that's perfect. I think that's absolutely perfect.
That's what marketing is.
Yep. When you're marketing, you want to make sure your product can be interpreted negatively as well, right?
Yeah. It's called wordplay.
I don't think I'll make you guys roll for the crowd's reception to free stuff. I do think you are able to win people over with and honestly, look, we know what shaved ice is as a concept. You throw some fruit flavor on some shaved ice, it's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something you prefer in the summer over the winter, but you know, hey, it's still
good.
fun
But you can
and
only
whimsical.
get ice now.
Right.
Unless they've invented refrigeration.
I don't think we're quite that far, though there are ways to cool things, especially with trees as tall as the redwoods, but we're not going to get into that because that's not necessary for this campaign. So,
You there! Try a sample of our Dion's Den Colada.
you have flavors named after each different clearing, just like
Amazing.
People love that.
people
It's
Have a
true.
fruity tooty featherflight flight. It's like a little flight of different flavors.
Oh my god, we're gonna sell out. We're gonna be so good.
Why are we being scoundrels? Let's be business people.
Why are we fighting the company with knives? We should fight them with ideas.
It's true. We could do both.
Oh, they'll probably steal our ideas anyway. So let's kill them first.
This flavor's called revenge.
That's why it's served so cold.
I was just about to make a similar joke.
Oh,
Maybe he just does that. Just say it.
oh my god.
They start wiling out as I say that.
Yeah.
And so I think with some free samples, you're able to get at least those who get the samples on your side. Because like, oh, actually, okay, no, this makes sense. This is good. They're perhaps a little surprised that you're even handing out free samples then. Like, it goes from, like, wariness to, like, surprise, right? It's like, huh, this is unusual. But they appreciate it in this cold, dreary winter.
True.
Make your way to the guards, who regard you with a similar confusion. When the paperwork is handed over, they like read it twice, looking up at Miffy, just like read it, get distracted, forget where they were, go back and read it again. But then they're like, it looks normal.
Well, haven't
yeah.
seen black and white before.
Sorry, what did you say?
Sorry, I was quoting a movie.
Okay, I missed it, but yeah. All right. They'll let you get onto one of the lifts, and they'll ring a bell, and with a grunt, group of people on standby will start pulling on ropes, and the pulley system they have will begin your ascent hundreds of feet up into the air. And I think that's a good place to take our 5-minute break, and we'll come back to the upper levels of Featherflight.
Woo!
Let's all go to the lobby.
All
Be
right.
sure to get your own Mr. Snow Good snow cone today in the lobby.
Guys, this idea is brilliant.
These
Nothing-
ideas are always good.
Nothing could go wrong.
No, I don't think anything will go wrong.
Absolutely nothing.
Nope.
Yeah.
But we'll find out in 5 minutes.
Yay.
That doesn't sound bad. I mean, think of it like a sweet condensed milk.
Okay.
No
you know
cone?
what?
That's kind of what ice cream is.
Basically.
Fair enough. That is what ice cream is. Also, we're back, by the way. I put us-
Whoa.
that part where I said I was putting us back, I was halfway through that conversation. Yeah, we're back. And yeah, ice cream, snow cones.
Mhm.
If I had one in front of me, I would eat it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Alas, I do not. Thankfully, my NPCs do, so I can live vicariously through them.
Yeah.
Truly.
I'll move us over to the top of Featherflight, though.
Ooh.
This next image, it doesn't come in like sunset format. If it did, that's probably what I would have used instead. Because that's more when you're getting up here. You're getting up here in like the early evening, but it's winter time, so night comes early, right? So there is more light than what you'll see in this image available to you all. You do have more time before the upper city starts going quiet. Let's put us over here.
Ooh.
So again, like this is on what is essentially an artificial floating island up in the canopies of the redwoods. So you are brought up those long pulleys with someone else's, someone else's labor, and disembark. Where now, I believe, your plan is to sell stuff and learn stuff, right? You have specific.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let's roll first.
Sell and learn.
Sailing on the edge of a tree.
Yeah, so I think we are trying to. There's a move for this, right? Which one is this? Read a tense. Is this a tense situation?
Isn't there one just
for
like
us.
read a person or something?
Yeah, but we don't have
Figure
a
someone
specific
else.
person you're looking
yeah.
for. I'd say we're going to qualify this as a tense situation in that
It's
case.
tense for us.
Yeah. So whoever wants to be the one to roll that, same rules as before, whoever doesn't
Sounds
roll
like
it,
Milo has the best cunning, so.
Actually, me and Ember are pretty close on cunning. Like,
Yeah,
we're
I've got
exactly the same.
+2.
Oh, okay. So either one.
You want to do it, Masha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help. Can we help?
it is.
We can make it a strong hit.
Yeah, if one person wants to mark exhaustion, you make it a
Yeah, I can do
strong
that.
hit.
With my brand new exhaustion box, I expect him to. Well, not brand new, but
Very nice. All right, so with that, it becomes a strong hit, and on a strong hit, you get 3 questions and take +1 when acting on the answers. So, what sort of information are you putting out feelers for as you're having a good evening of selling these flavorful and colorful snow cones? They're snow good, apparently.
we're also selling t-shirts with that slogan on it.
It's very exclusive. You only had time to make like 4 of them before you came up.
Yeah. They're numbered. 1 through 3 and then 5. Forget about
Limited
4.
edition.
Very limited.
Mm-hmm.
Masha, you got any questions you want to ask?
Is there any, like, I don't know how to describe it, but I want to get the vibe of if people have any sort of intentions or awareness of the company. Like, is the company something that is forefront of people's minds? Like, is this a hush hush, oh, we don't talk about them, but they're here? Or is it an openly talked about, yeah, the company gave me this fancy ring because I did this and such for them? Like, is it commonly, are the different factions, specifically the company, openly talked about? And if so, about what?
Okay, yeah, get like the vibe check on how the common people up here feel about the company, right? As opposed to the
Yeah.
common
Roll for
people
vibe
amongst
check.
the whole of the thing. Yeah, and up here, the populace leans very, it leans very upper class, noble class,
Yeah.
or even like, even if they aren't like nobles themselves, they're perhaps what's the word I'm looking for? Like traditional Eyrie cultural class, so like people like
Exactly,
artisans or like merchants who deal
yeah.
with like Eyrie
nobles.
specific stuff, right? Like that kind of
Yeah,
those kinds
and
of
the company is a merchant group.
right.
Ah.
And so I think you are able to pick up on, like, the company has a presence here, and while it's tolerated, some people are, most people are a bit snobbish towards them. In some cases, you get the sense that they view the company as beneath them and just leave it at that. And it's like, well, they have their little spot up here. They should be grateful for it, and that's all they're going. As long as they continue to serve the Eyrie, they will retain their spot up here. Like, no one would say that directly to you, but that's like the vibe you would get across. Other people are a little bit more, I don't want to say hostile, but like wary, perhaps. Right? Perhaps this comes from the like artisans or other merchants who aren't quite nobles, but they see this big merchant group coming in.
Oh no.
And they like gaining power. And so they're like, wary that they will be offset in this rising struggle. So there's a bit of a
the river folk company are a part of is the Amazon.
I mean.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you re-summarize what the Marquis already know and what exactly they're trying to find out?
What the Marquis knows is that some big deal is going down between the Eyrie and the company. This big deal has the Eyrie in a heightened state of military awareness, and the Marquis is suspecting that the Eyrie is going to make another big attack like they did on Ironroot earlier this... Well, I forget. Is it the new year yet? Let me check the calendar. No, not yet. I didn't fast forward when we... I did. Okay. Yeah. I just didn't hit the current day button, but I marked our arrival.
Yeah, we're in winter.
We're in winter now.
Yeah.
So earlier this year when they took Ironroot, there were similar sorts of build-up. So the Marquis thinks that the Eyrie's starting to make a big move, but what the company's role in this is unclear. They also think that the Eyrie has recovered rather quickly from their rather Pyrrhic victory in Ironroot. Like, the Eyrie lost a lot of soldiers taking Ironroot, right? That's why when we started our campaign, there were company mercenaries being the prison guards, right? So Marquis wants... It's just like, what's going on behind the scenes here that seems to be emboldening the Eyrie? And can we...
Yet the general consensus is that they don't care for the company.
Oh no, the Eyrie doesn't. Like, the comment, like, this is the general consensus amongst the nobility is that these are a bunch of foreign merchants coming in to our turf, sort of wedging themselves into our society. We're going to do that. It's like, we'll tolerate them so long as they're useful. But
Okay.
That's the overall vibe. It's not omnipresent. Different ones have different reasons. Some are more willing, some are more hostile, but like, yeah. It's not like the two are best buds.
Got it. So should we ask something about, like, if we think it's a weapon? Do we ask about materials that have been brought up around here? Or perhaps... I can only think that they're selling them something, right? So I would imagine it's like an item, but
it was a delivery.
It could be...
Another avenue we could do is if there's been any talk of where the Eyrie might expand to next as a business venture / where nobles have been told to start looking at property or like listening to people talking about where they plan to go next.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, yeah.
So I viewed this lovely spot that I'm interested in investing in.
That is a good question. I think that one, it's harder to get a concrete answer, I think, at this stage. Let me see if I can cast some... Give me a second to see if I can cast some implications in different ways. I think the vibes that you will get, and this like answers the question perhaps more in an indirect way, is that the mood amongst the nobility is that rather than a specific new clearing, there's a lot of buzz about reclaiming the woodlands itself. The different clearings being discussed and the work needing to be done to them covers all current Marquis holdings.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Dang.
And I do think
is Buzz a hint? Does it have something to do with bees?
I was thinking that.
Great question. You can use
Oh my God,
your
it
third
does.
question on that if you want. But before we get to that,
It's
I will also
poison!
add to this. The Great Lord's name does come up multiple times in this. people invoking that, like, whatever the Great Lord has planned, it seems like soon that plan will come to fruition, and then the woodlands will be ours once more. Right? Like that sort of. A lot of those who are re-expansionists, we'll say, are putting a lot of faith in this Great Lord as well. One more question.
I have one. You want to go for it?
You can pitch it to the group first if you'd like, but if no one else has anything.
Okay, my immediate question right now is what's security like on this level?
So this, rather than like, gauging the populace, is more like, all right, while the populace is distracted by all this food we're selling, I'm going to take some time to peer at the defenses and look around and all that. Right?
Yeah, any gaps we can see.
Yeah, if that's fine with
I think that's fair.
That sounds very reasonable. All right. So here's what you notice. In terms of active security, like guards just hanging around, extremely little. Sure, some of the nobility have their own private estates, which have guards posted, but there's not a lot of guard patrolling. However, where this gets a little bit funky is that there are a lot of not currently on duty or not currently active Eyrie soldiers that are just hanging about, right? Whether they're at eateries, they're in parks and things, still armed, sometimes in uniform, sometimes in more casual clothing, but they're just kind of around. And specifically, these ones you get the impression are more like the leadership or more career soldiers who have earned a name for themselves, right? It's not that their whole military is up here just lounging about at all times, but the ones who have a position or have otherwise earned a name for themselves wear that as they go about their business up here, right? Some people here are merchants, some people here are artisans, and some people here are career soldiers, and the career soldiers make it known that that's why they belong here. And there are certainly a good number of them. But again, not standing around watching, just going about their lives.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's the 3. And I would say you guys definitely do earn a good bit of coin from your sales. Honestly, you're probably mostly constrained by just how much ice and flavor you were able to lug up with you. If you had... maybe if you had also rolled a nicer mascot, you would attract more people more quickly, but,
Hey, I'm perfectly... Mr. Snowgood is so good for business.
That they are, Snowgood. That they are.
Yeah, you do. I'd say you do pretty well for yourselves. Let me take a quick look at value. Oh, this word comes up a lot.
How much are you... We do a Shark Tank situation. How much do you see investing in our business?
We say this to any noble we find.
Mm-hmm. Probably, I wonder if you would get good offer. You probably wouldn't get a lot of people interested in just making investment pitches. I'm trying to enjoy my evening with my family. That kind of...
Yeah.
But, you could probably try to find some. I don't know if that's what you want to devote your time to. But...
No.
I think they would all just probably lowball us, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's fine. It's our business.
Yeah, I would say, why don't you each take 2 values worth of coin and add that to your sheet to...
All right.
On the starting value, yeah.
Yeah, it's that's a solid amount of money for a couple hours even,
Yeah.
That wasn't even a whole day's worth of work. So you make some coin, you tuck it away, and now you essentially have tonight and tomorrow to figure out what you want to do, whether you want to try to infiltrate in advance of the meeting and see what's going on and potentially disturb it before the Great Lord arrives, or whether you want to learn the lay of the land and try to intercept the meeting in some way. So
Can
assume,
Can we like feign storing our leftover ice in somewhere around here?
Do
What?
we have leftover ice?
Yeah.
just take like whatever little bits are left and just like tuck it away in an alley somewhere.
Well, I was trying to say like, oh, if we can get a storage space, maybe we can use that opportunity to
Oh, or we can come back.
hide away and, sneak inside and whatever.
Okay, you know what? I feel like that sounds fair. And there are stores and things up here, so I think if you make some inquiries around, you know what I'll say? I gave you all 2 value each as profits, but I'll say that your profits also cover like a room for you to leave your things for the night, or rather for the next 2 nights. I don't think I'll take any of that money I just gave you back. I'll say that it also covers that as well.
Okay, so we
you're
made
able
a
to get
bit more.
Yeah, you got a little room that you can hide, that you can both use as a resting spot. Granted, not a particularly secure one, but a resting spot all the same. And store all of your spare stuff.
Excellent.
Is Miffy still wearing
so-
a mascot, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't take it off until the big reveal.
Are you gonna keep wearing it?
Probably once it's like dark, I'll not wear it anymore and try to. But I'm trying to like hide and sneak, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll say that after you're done selling, it'll, like, the sun will be set, but you have the last like 15-20 minutes of daylight to still walk around before
Ooh. Golden hour.
all right, so
Okay, so
We're
yeah.
now-
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, I assume you're going to scout out Captain Castor's manor, or do you have something else you would rather do?
No, I think probably the manor makes sense.
Yeah.
That's where we're going.
All right. So Captain Castor's manor is a large fenced-in property on the edge of one of these, like,
Ooh.
edges of, like, islands, right? The gates and, like, the fences, they look like a relatively recent addition. You can still see the places where the grass and the soil, well, it's winter, so it certainly hasn't regrown, so it was dug up sometime perhaps a few months ago, whereas you can see, like, the faded grass elsewhere that's still present. While the fencing is relatively, what's the word I'm looking for? Intimidating. It's very spear-shaped, very sharp, but it does have an artistic flair where the spears are somewhat feathered. And even though right now it's nighttime, you can see that the trees, like the rest of the canopy of the redwood that you're sitting in, does shade parts of the ground between the gates and the manor itself. There's some there's like a transplanted garden in there that looks like perhaps it was owned by whoever was here previously, or was present there. There's a couple of water features that are currently not running, but you can see like the fountains and all that are off for the season. And the building itself backs up to the very edge of the, of the island. It's like the back wall.
I'm sure that was fun to build.
Oh yes, certainly.
Oh, they're birds.
And they do have birds. Still probably not fun to have all that heavy stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
And certainly not fun to be the people below it, but... Yeah, but that's the overall layout. There are a pair of guards at the main gate, and there are some lights on. You can see, it's hard to tell from the distance if they are just staff or guard moving about on the inside. There's not like, doesn't look like a huge presence of soldiers. Like as far as you can tell, there's just a pair at the gate. But that's what you spot, at least at this hour.
I don't know. Is there like a particular Mm. Can we get inside somehow if we sneak good enough, or?
You could go over the fence, which, I mean, if you sneak good enough, maybe the guards at the gate won't see you, and hopefully no one inside that building looking out would see you. So that's always possible. You could, if you want to get really daring, go around and just climb on the side of the ground until you reach the side wall of the manor. Now, if you're trying to sneak in at night, you're probably fine. You're probably fine from being spotted as long as you move slowly. Any birds patrolling, it seems like there's fewer patrols at night, and even the ones that are going by, they're not going to be able to see as well in the dark, right? Like if you're in the shadows of the side of the land. But you better hope nothing goes wrong if you're doing that, because oh boy, is it a long fall.
Ooh, boy, yeah.
Those would be probably the two most obvious ways to enter. I think a third way you could spot, especially you, Miffy, being someone who's actually probably all of you at this point, because Ember, you're also very much a breaking and entering sort. I was going to say the canopy of the redwood casts some shade on the garden. If you were to climb the rest of the canopy, you could probably drop down in there. It wouldn't be a comfortable drop, and it wouldn't be... It's arguable if that would be more subtle than climbing over the fence, but it's an option. But those are the most obvious routes of entry. But feel free to ask about anything specific you might have in mind.
Are there any guards that one of us could reasonably pass off as?
Are there any guards that look like they have a sweet tooth?
They look like they have a sweet tooth. That one might be hard to judge, but you're also... we also tucked away all your supplies already. But
Dang.
yeah, let's...
Alright.
If you want to try... Let's see, I'm trying to think of what to make you roll.
Does any of them look like a fox or a songbug or a mouse?
Yeah, I mean, I guess... Why don't we just...
Roll a die?
Yeah, let's just
Wait,
roll
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
we got you.
Okay,
That was a very funny
just
joke.
making
That was a
sure.
very joke. Very fun joke.
Yeah, let's why don't we just roll some luck? I see we got +1s, +1s, and a -1. So one of y'all with a +1, either Miffy or Ember. Why don't you roll a luck roll?
I could do it since I haven't rolled yet.
Go for it.
We
Weak hit. Yeah, one of the guards at the gate is a mouse, but their fur is like, it's like a gray, not like a dark gray, but it's like a middle, maybe lighter gray. So it's like it doesn't really match Miffy's white fur, but
Like a light blue, perhaps.
so like if someone wasn't looking closely, maybe they could mistake you for them, but it's not like a perfect.
Okay, never mind.
No.
I'll just put a pin in it. Like, I don't think we should go for it now, but perhaps if we come back and do our shtick tomorrow, when everything's up and buzzing, we can maybe ask with the guards if we can be let in to pitch our wares to the master of the house. If that's even possible.
Miffy, do you think Captain Castor would hear a pitch from snow cone sellers?
No,
All
probably
right,
not.
Well, there's the likelihood of that.
Okay. They don't have kids.
I have no idea about kids. I don't, but they're kind of. I think they're pretty serious. They're already a serious kind of person.
Yeah, she is.
Is there anyone
serious
who
for a snow good
tried?
snow cone?
I do have some ancient Eyrie coinage that we might be able to bribe someone with, but they have to know about it and care, and they have to be someone who will help us in some way or fashion.
Oh.
So, we could bribe, if we ask a guard if anybody that they know would be interested in these and more of them, or we could talk to a merchant to get us in and give them the coins, or I don't know.
That makes sense to me.
Like, basically, instead of being like, hey, we want to make our pitch to your boss, to the guards, instead find another merchant. Like, hey, do you know this person? Can you put in a good word for us if we give you this coinage so we can make our pitch? And that person might not know what your pitch is, but they'll be like, yeah, sure, right? Like, that's what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, yeah, sure. Castor might not go in for snow cones, but if she doesn't know what you're pitching, maybe you'd be able to... So I suppose the question becomes, is your goal to meet with her face to face? Because that sounds like what that's a path towards, right? Like that's a very plausible path to meeting with her face to face.
True. I would also consider the possibility of just getting us onto the estate.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I would posit that if you pay a merchant to arrange a meeting, that probably will involve letting the person you're meeting know that you are coming for a meeting, right?
Yeah. Just throwing thoughts around.
Yeah.
Anybody have thoughts on the thoughts?
I feel like sneaking like along the tree limb. I think that's a good approach, I think.
And are you trying to... And the question then becomes, are you heading in now?
Ooh.
We talked about sort of setting up before the meeting happened, right?
Yes, you did.
Is it happening tomorrow?
It would be happening... You have tomorrow the full day. It's happening the next morning. So you have tonight and then one... You know, like, you basically have, 36 hours, somewhere around there? 30 hours? Yeah, like 36, 38 hours, somewhere around there. I don't know. So, a day and a night.
I guess we'll come back to that and sneak in then, but for now I feel like we should... I think we're probably done scouting for now.
Alright, so you'll rest up for the night. Think on it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, is there anything you want to do that night or the next day?
Let's think. Think we can roll to make a better Mr. Snowgood?
Yeah, but
I mean, if you want
What
to.
else we can...
If you want to spend the next morning just doing it for some reason, that's allowed.
Okay. How are we feeling about that, guys?
Oh God, I don't know if it really furthers our goal, but we could.
Something to keep your
Do we
hands
want-
busy while your minds think.
yeah. And do we want to scout any of the shops and things that are open and just go around while they're open?
That could be good. I also would Miffy, are there company people around here?
You saw a couple, but they are relatively rare. From what you can tell, it seems most company people are sticking to the area around Castor's Manor or in Castor's Manor. Does not seem to be a huge company presence. In fact, I guess the impression you might get is it's less there's a company presence and more it's Castor and her retinue who are here, right? Like, there's not general company, multiple captains moving around.
Do you think there would be a chance that I would see them on the grounds at all?
I would say a slim chance. Why, are you aiming to see them on the grounds, or are you aiming to avoid them?
I think with my Mr. Snowgood costume, I would want to see who I'm dealing with. I know I'm going to be dealing with my mentor, but is there anything, how many goons do I pick out,
Okay, alright, that sounds good. So here's what I'm thinking based on that question. that feels to me like another read a tense situation roll. So what I think is we could spend the better part of the next morning, afternoon, making that roll. Or rather, we'll say like, we'll spend half the day tomorrow making that roll, and we can give you guys some more questions based on the results of it. If that's the route you want to go.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this also needs to involve Ember or Milo if they wanted to do something else, like do the shop thing.
Split it up. Yeah.
That is true.
We could probably split up this particular day since no action is really going to be taken.
Yeah, just don't roll poorly while you're split.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't roll poorly while in a mascot costume.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, that sounds good. So Miffy can be doing more scouting with more reading tense situations. Ember and Milo, you'd be looking up through the shops and things. Are you also still mainly looking for information? Like what? Is that still the same goal? Trying to like read the current lay of the land and.
Actually, this counts as a clearing, right?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Is a clearing.
Can I do adoring fans?
Oh, you certainly can. You know what? Why
Oh my
not?
gosh.
I'm gonna need to improvise some because I pre-write adoring fans for each clearing, and I wrote some for the lower area, thinking you'd do it when you arrived. I didn't write them for the upper area, so I crack my knuckles, access my name list of characters.
I mean, we can like do the other roles they can do, and like you in the back of your mind can do it, or do you want to improv it now?
Yeah, let's do one of the other roles while I start putting this together.
So me?
Yeah, Iffy, why don't you?
Okay.
Oh boy.
Choosing my cunning, which I have a negative in.
I believe.
Nope.
Oh no,
Yes.
a miss. The GM gets to say what happens next. Alright. Are you going around in your outfit, Miffy, or your disguise?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I think what happens, Miffy, is the next day you're going around and scouting and you're trying to scout in your disguise, and you just draw so much attention to yourself by virtue of wearing the disguise that it's hard to scout places while you yourself are being stared at, right? Like you go somewhere and you're like, all right, let me get a count of all of these company people in the area, and like they look over their shoulder and like people will just look over their shoulder and they just see you just standing there menacingly, and this is sort of like, hear out or whispered between each other. You don't get a good read on the actual like what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I will say, if you want to mark an exhaustion, I will give you one question.
All right. Well, I wouldn't even know what that question would be then.
You had one earlier.
Oh yeah, just like who's around here, I guess.
Yeah. If you want to mark an exhaustion, get the answer to that. Otherwise, you just waste your time.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was just picturing Miffy just doing a little dance to entice people, and then they just fall flat on their snow good face.
Did you say I guess so that you are marking?
Yes,
it, or
I
not
marked the exhaustion.
Okay, all right. So you mark the exhaustion. Looking around, from what you can tell, I think, Miffy, you observe a few guard rotations. You see some company staff going into the manor, then going out into the town, purchasing supplies. There is a small contingent of skilled fighters, but most of the people up here are staff. To the point where it feels like these skilled fighters, they're either her personal bodyguard or up here for a specific reason, right? Like, the company probably wouldn't put some of their best fighters on an off-duty spot unless they had a good reason, right? Whether that's because they expect violence or they needed to demonstrate something that requires some skill.
Oh.
Can't wait till they bring out the bees.
Miffy, no, you can't attack all those bees.
Okay,
it's a
well,
swarm.
that's what I get.
And that's what
Oh
you
man,
got.
I was so excited because my immediate thought was, oh, there's a fight club happening. There's a Mortal Kombat happening in the estate. Oh my god. But
I mean,
don't
there
know.
might be.
Could be. All right. Ready for Adoring Fans?
All right, yeah. Let me. Yep, got a name and everything. So,
Okay.
I assume. Let's see. With Adoring Fans, they just recognize you, right? So you're going about browsing the shops, and someone sees you. That's how that goes, right?
Can I say like I get a new fan who's really into me because like I'm kind of in disguise right now.
Oh, interesting. Hold on. Let's
Like
A
I'm
new fan of what?
since it's the new clearing and I'm doing the snow good thing. I'm the snow good barker. Here to sell you
I see.
my delightful confectionaries.
someone who's just really into who like really had a taste of that and
Performance.
was like, wow, that was
Likes
that was-
the
that was
flair.
great. Yep. Digs the flair.
Yeah.
Digs the flair, digs the product. All right, let me
Yeah.
write down what I'm saying as I say it so I don't forget it
Wow.
for next time. Wait, no, we're recording this. I don't have to do that. I can just check. All right. Yeah. So as you're doing your thing, let's see. It is like on the top half is like a caramel brown sort of bird with like a white lower half. Tiny like slight curve to the beak and big
Ooh.
brown eyes. She approaches you at one point between your pitches. You can see her like paying close attention, and then like you're doing your thing, and she like creeps a little bit closer, and then you do more stuff, and then she gets a little bit closer, and then when she's at a
Aw.
polite distance, she's just comes up to you, makes those last couple little steps, and says, "Are you looking for his assistant?" Stares at you with big ol' eyes. Because I really think I could be some help.
Ah, okay. So should I do the roll now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Be kit.
What kind of bird are they again?
So this is a she is a ptarmigan. A ptarmigan. I don't know if you spelled with it has as a silent P at the top at the first. Here, I'll take the reference image. I'll put it in our group.
Oh, they're adorable. Oh wait, no, that's Masha. Oh wow, by me Isaac, cool.
Let's see. Here you go. This type of bird.
Aww.
They
Oh,
are
they're
adorable
adorable.
birds.
Yeah.
You should look up, not now, not during the session, but some of them. I think a specific type of ptarmigan makes very funny sounds as it runs around. Ones with the
When you
little
said
red
ptarmigan,
eyebrows.
I thought it was kind of spicy, to be honest.
No.
All right, so I go to them like, oh, well, I can certainly use some help getting rid of all these delectable confectionaries I have. Here, have a sample. I do a little flourish and like hand them a small sample of snow cone.
Oh, well, thank you kindly. I actually had one yesterday, and I just thought I would certainly have another. They're just really good. She takes the sample.
Ah, yes. That's our. Hold on, I need to look up something. Well, that's our Pine Hills
Pine cone.
Pine Essence.
Oh,
It's a subtle flavor of pine and herbs that refreshes the palate. Get you ready for more snow cones.
the pine is very refreshing. I feel like it's almost just like it really clears out the palate, in a good way. In a good way.
Good in between the courses too for a fancy meal.
I could see that. Just a little bowl of this served in a finely adorned glass. Little patterns of pine needles.
That's right. All rungs of society love a good snow cone.
He should. I do.
Yes, the name's... My name's Frosty.
Oh my gosh.
I'm Willow.
Frosty
Mr.
Feelers, that's
Frosty.
me.
Wait, what was that?
Frosty Feelers, that's me. Merchant extraordinaire for the Snow Good Snow Cone Company.
Ember over here just making snow cones as fast as she can.
That over there is our little firecracker.
Ember, full last name,
Bunny.
full government name.
Our little firecracker there is Bunny. Say hi, Bunny.
What? Oh, hi.
Ember looks around
The
like,
name's
Bunny?
ironic.
Bunny where? Oh. And
She
of
does
course,
not
we can't
register the
forget
name at all.
our mascot, Mr. Snow. Good. And I motion to Miffy to come over.
Yeah, like Miffy's still like. I imagine this is happening like while she's looking around.
Yeah,
it's like,
Miffy's here right now.
Oh yeah, right. Have a snow cone.
There's a meaningful ellipses.
Oh no.
Dot. I think
Oh, now that you know our names, what
She
can we
already
do
said
you
hers.
for? What?
She already said hers.
yeah, she
Oh,
already
no.
said it earlier.
Jeez. Oh no. Well, I
What was
rolled.
she gonna say?
Oh, she was going to say, like, I feel like your marketing is ripe for good slogans, but perhaps more besides just snow. You know, snow could sound like no, if I might offer some critique.
What?
Ooh.
No way.
I mean, might
You're
I
really
offer
earning a
you?
paycheck today, Mr. Snowgood.
Might I offer you that it's really nice?
Huh? I go, huh? I take out a little small piece of parchment and start writing down, it's so nice. And I put like a little M dash between the N and the ice. Oh, that's genius. I'll take this to the big wigs upstairs. Tell them the good news.
Well, I do hope, Mr. Frosty Feelers, that you're going to be here for a while, because I certainly would look forward to having one of these in the warmer months as well.
Oh, I certainly have to do that, but, time's money and money's a ticking. We gotta start moving these out all over the woodlands, to Pinewoods, Dion's Den, Velox's Bend, Ashenborough, and more.
Dion's Den, Ashenborough. Such dangerous places, she says with some awe, but also a little bit of fear.
Gosh, I'm so vapor locked right now. This is why I'm not a good salesman. Well, we gotta spread the good word of these frozen confectionaries. And what shines better than any coin possibly could is a smile on everyone's face.
What are you gonna try to get her to do?
I'm just seeing, I get a favor or something, like a gossip or.
Also, safe place to stay. On a weak hit, you also get a safe place to stay and get shown around. So yeah, why don't we take a brief cut from this introduction, small talk, etc., and what kind of gossip are you trying to get out of her?
She seemed like she's a high society bird, right?
Yeah, she's a high society bird who is taken by your snow cone and the presentation of snow cones as a delightful innovation.
Okay, so can we hear any gossip about the manor? What's all the hubbub about?
Yeah, maybe it has she ever been into it? Been invited to there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the company. You want to know about your fellow merchants? Well, I've never been in there nor invited. There was one event when the current owner, I don't remember her name. I don't see her very much. Usually she only really comes out when she's going to visit others, and then she goes to their estates. doesn't do much to patronize the local businesses, you know? But there was an event when she first came up here for a bunch of high-to-do folk. I did not make the list, unfortunately. A lot of people didn't and aren't quite happy about
rats.
that. It was a somewhat private affair, much smaller than the manor is capable of supporting. But she mostly worked closely with the Great Lord, with Melanor Alba. So, from what I can tell, probably deals with war stuff, weapons, or information. Not the kind of stuff that puts smiles on people's faces. No, sir.
Frowns far outweigh them, it appears.
But, well, hopefully that means she's not your competition, because if she is, she's going to be hard to compete against. She does have the Great Lord's favor, it seems, and, well, there is talk about him.
Well, after he gets a taste of our Hoppers Crossing lemonade, I'm sure he'll definitely be in our corner.
She chuckles at
Oh,
that.
what can she tell us anything about the Lord?
I assume it was said in a Miffy voice, but is that you, Nova, asking Milo to ask, or is that Mr. Snowcone or whatever your mascot name is asking?
I don't know. I just like doing the Miffy voice. That was
Fair
me
enough.
asking you, but I could be like, "And what about this Lord guy?"
Yeah, taken aback slightly by the Snowcone mascot talking about politics, but like, oh, the Great Lord? Well, people say that he's a strategic genius or something. I mean, I've never met him myself. I've seen him, but I've never, like, spoken to him. She lowers her voice. There's rumors that over in Firesky Grove, they're thinking of declaring him the new apex.
Ah.
Is there a current one?
No, there is no current apex. The Eyrie Dynasties have had many leaders with many titles, many different forms of government, all almost exclusively run by birds, many of them dictatorships. Apex is a title with a lot of historical weight to it. There's only been a few in Eyrie history, and typically, disobedience of an apex is very harshly punished. It is a title given to one of the most absolute of rulers, right?
Ooh.
Someone who is truly above all others.
Gotcha.
Like an
So they seems pretty damn sure that they've got something up their sleeve.
She does.
Maybe bees.
And if anyone's going to be declared an apex anytime soon, it certainly might be him. He did stop the Marquis' advance. There was a while where it looked like they might actually take the woodlands. But not only did he stop them outside of Pine Hills, he also pushed them back, retook Ironroot, and everyone's saying that soon he'll push out the Marquis completely.
Is he like a warlord, like in battle, or like he's just a strategist? He's not actually going into battles though or anything, right?
No, Mr. Snowgood. I'm sure we've.
Yeah.
I know you're very.
Snowgood can have hobbies.
I know. Just making sure we're, you're also meeting your quota for dancing and, japering about.
I just want to know if he's ripped or not.
I mean, I'm also curious about that. Why don't you tell us about that?
I believe he is a capable fighter, but he doesn't, as far as I know, he doesn't actually go into battles all that often. More of like a duelist than a warrior, if that makes sense.
Oh my god. if we get the Lord to duel Miffy, can we make Miffy the apex if she wins?
No, you do actually have
I
to be a
don't
bird.
think.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang it.
They're pretty racist
Yeah, the
like
Eyrie
that.
Dynasties are in
Damn.
fact kind of racist. The birds are a little, well, the bird government is a little bit more racist than the other ones.
Yeah, it's the government, it's not the people, obviously. Okay. Is that all the rumors we're getting, or can we ask more?
You can ask more, and if there's something where I think she might not know about it, I think that's a good grain of information that I feel like this satisfies some good gossip. But if you have some other questions,
millet.
I'm happy to share if I think it would be within her wheelhouse, but I won't stretch to make her know.
Now, we have 31 flavors here, but we're always looking for number 32. Perhaps you have some suggestions?
Oh. You know, I was just thinking that I've heard, we were just talking about the company, and I heard that they go far and wide in the world, and outside of the woodlands, I don't know exactly where, but they have this thing that's like, you crack it open and it's all white on the inside. I heard that, like, there's like milk, or you can like shave it. But like, what if you had a snow cone that looked like snow, but it didn't taste like snow? You snow? What I'm saying?
No,
Okay.
she's in the snow cone spirit.
Oh, that boggles the mind. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, and to be entirely clear, she's talking about coconut, right? She's describing a coconut.
Yeah.
I got it. We got it.
I'm going to be completely honest. I thought she was just talking about ice cream in general.
Oh, no. She.
I completely misread.
Yeah. Coconut.
I mean, I
I got
did-
it.
It's
All
fine.
right, just making sure.
Okay. Well, it's really been a pleasure, my dear. Now, let me give you a little something. I take out a little piece of parchment and I quickly calligraphy. Actually, hold on. Can I counterfeit like a little coupon
Counterfeit a coupon?
for like?
How would you counterfeit a coupon for a company that
I know
you,
that. Yeah, I know.
you can
it's
just
for a
write
fake company.
one?
I guess. Well,
Hey,
like
you run the business. If you write it and you accept
I'm
it,
just
it's real.
okay, fine. I say it's a very well-made, very good typeface coupon for a free flight of snow cones.
Oh, she is thrilled. Has a very brief debate about whether to have it now or not. But it's like, nope. You know, I just had some. I should wait until at least tomorrow. So.
Of course, and of course, tell your friends. Well, it's a snow cone. It's nice.
She seems quite pleased with the adoption of her suggestion, and she vows to do so. Yeah, all right, that's more information for you all. We're now well into the afternoon. If at some point you would like to meet up with Ella, just let me know. I imagine she would have given you a place that you could meet up with her if you like. I'll say that she probably won't have fresh information for you except for on like military patrol timings and things like that, which might be useful if you're planning on sneaking in, but otherwise that's the main information she'll be able to share. You don't have to sneak in with her, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's update her on it.
Yeah, sounds good. You share all the extra information that you were able to find. She'll express that, you know, everything you found is consistent with what she was hearing from below and her limited excursions up top, right? Like, and this is why she was raising the alarm when these deals were first starting months ago, because whatever's going on, the Eyrie seems to think that they can deal a death blow to the Marquis, which the Marquis is on the back foot. You saw that firsthand, but they still have 3-4 clearings? Like that's a very confident Eyrie right here. So I think in summary, she's not surprised by anything that you've learned, but it is valuable all the same, and just makes her question, what is in those crates that's making them so confident? We need to know. And if it's something that can't be replaced, might be best if we find a way to destroy it as soon as possible.
Now, we've tangled with the Eyrie before, and we know they've been trying to get some development on certain clockwork mechanicals that the Marquis have been developing. We know that at least one architect in it, or engineer rather, was taken prisoner by the Eyrie. Perhaps it could be something mechanical, some mechanical war machine. That's just a theory.
It could. Something that needs to be assembled in parts, or... I wonder what they would have that the Marquis couldn't match. You may not be wrong. There must be something different or unique about it.
I wanna listen in I need to listen to this box. It's gotta be a box of bees. I'm betting everything on box of bees.
If he finally gets to the box of turns out it's just a box full of it's just a box full of electricity. If he gets shocked and turned into a skeleton.
Secret weapon, electrocute.
Oh no, they had a Nikola Tesla in there.
But alright, I think what's left for you guys to decide is when you're going into the manor and how you're doing so. Right? Because it sounds like we've scouted about, we're in the afternoon the next day, so if you're going that night, how are you entering in that night? If you're trying to be introduced and get a meeting, that's plausible, but then why are you doing that, and what's your goal there?
I think honestly it's sneak in.
Sneak.
Sneak in at night, I would assume.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to try sneak in broad daylight, but you never know. But yeah. Are you sneaking at night, and are you going in from the trees? Are you sneaking along the walls?
I think from the tree would be reasonable.
Alright.
Da-da-da-da.
Alright, so we could start sneaking in now if you guys want, or we can hold off there for next week. What are we thinking?
I think we should do it now. Because when we did it with the theater, it went so well when we came back to it.
You know what? That's true. If you roll well, maybe we'll get some great information to end on. And if you roll poorly, maybe we'll get a great cliffhanger to end on.
Yeah. we just go home. It's just like, well, and then they took a nap.
All right. So we'll fast forward to that night. And I think from the described approach, it sounds like we are sneaking in. Does everyone have sneak?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, then only one of you
sneak.
needs to roll, and the other two can help if needed. When you roll attempt a roguish feat.
Okay, so
it's with
I
finesse.
think if we're rolling for everybody, I think I should do it because with my Deep Shadow Cloak, I can mark 2 exhaustion to shift a miss to a 7 to 9.
Oh, so if you roll really bad, we can make it not that bad.
Yes. Sound good?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. So
All right.
how do I roll sneak? That's roguish feat, which is finesse then?
You roll attempt a roguish feat. You can just click
Okay,
on.
where?
There's if you click on the mouse over the little icon to the left of attempt a roguish feat, there's turn the dice.
Got it.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Well,
but I will
get
say
this-
though, Niffy, you could mark 2 to turn this into a weak hit, or one of your allies could mark 1 to turn it into a weak hit.
Nope.
But what if I rolled again with my rising star?
No, we can just mark the exhaustion.
If you roll again with
Alright.
your rising star and you succeed, maybe you'll get really far in the manor. But if you roll again and fail, you come down the tree and the spotlights immediately turn on.
Get
I mean, I
off
still
her
can
shoulder,
use my
you devil.
cloak, right?
Oh, that's true. You could still use your cloak. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know Hambone's advocating for the weak hit here, so it's up to you guys what you want to do. I'm just illuminating your options.
If you want to use your star piece, I can't stop you. Well, I could, but
I mean, I think. Yeah.
I'm willing to offer help if needed. I don't have anything on my boxes right now.
I think this is a good place to use it. I think that's fine.
Cool.
All right.
If I missed, I missed. It wouldn't be the first time.
All right.
All right.
Go for it.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Woo!
All right.
We teleport into the manor.
Let me. I mean,
Do I get anything if I use my cloak to give an extra boost?
No, you don't need it. You don't need.
You've
an
done the
extra boost.
best.
Okay. I know,
Done the
but
best
I don't know.
with it.
You're saying like you would get really far.
No, by using the star piece to reroll, you are now getting really far.
Woohoo!
Okay.
The team climbs into the canopy and drops silently with a practiced measure of skill that you all have had, but have so rarely been able to bring together on a job, right? You each are individual, quite good at the things you do, but one of the difficulties with being in a group is the more people to potentially fail. Not tonight. The three of you, or four of you if you want to bring Ella, I'll let you decide if you want to be with her or have her be separate. But you move across the grounds quickly, find a window that's cracked open to let in an evening breeze, sending a chill through the empty halls. Passing through, you find the occasional patrol, though they're not all that concerned, at least at the moment. They don't seem to believe they have any reason to be worried, which unfortunately for them, they very much do. For this strong hit, I'll ask the party, but also Miffy, when you see guards on patrol, are you taking them out, or are you leaving them be and just avoiding them? There will be no additional roll involved in this decision.
Who?
So you mean I can just choose to take them out?
Yes, of course. Now that does mean
Ooh.
that they will be gone, which could have repercussions in a few hours when they're supposed to change shifts, right? But it does mean they won't show up if there's issues, right? So.
I'm a fan of no trace, so that would mean leaving them alone. But that's Ember's go-to.
Silent assassin.
I mean, we rolled so well, but I don't know. I think, how many guards are we talking about here? Like, if it's a significant number, then maybe it's worth it. But if it's only like 2 or 3, then I think we can just move on.
I think a patrol would just be 2 or 3 at tops. Like,
all right, so I think just leave them alone.
Yeah.
You spot the fighters, leave them be. Make your way through the manor.
Can I pickpocket them though?
No. Could fail.
Sure. We'll say. I'll give you one free pick. Are you trying to grab like their wallet or like a weapon?
Identification card, their wallet, I guess. In this case,
I don't know if ID cards are really a thing in this era, but
I don't know. Then just I guess not a weapon.
Ham sandwich. Well, not a ham sandwich, but a sandwich left on a counter.
Would any of the guards have keys?
Oh, that's probably a good
keys
one.
or something. Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, that's a good one. Yes, I'll say yes. You can lift the keys off of some of the guards as they're sitting, chatting about, hoping that this deal finally gets made soon, so that they can do something more valuable with their time. Right?
Yeah.
You get the keys, start making your way through. Miffy, you haven't been in this exact manor, but you have been in prior places that Castor has owned. And she's never really taught you. You don't think she teaches anyone how they really work. How once you get past those outer walls of the building, how everything becomes so purposefully identical and maze-like to obscure where you are, to hide rooms and to hide the way deeper and hide the way out for those who aren't aware. But you put it together, same way you have in the past. You learn because that's sort of always how she worked. She taught you, often indirectly, and through navigating turn after turn after turn, we find ourselves at a door where Miffy takes out that key ring, tries a couple, and one of them does click open. The other side...
Do I let out a bunch of bees?
No, you don't let out a bunch of bees. The other side contains a vault. And this one, your keyring does not open. Miffy, you're going to need your tools for this.
Oh, okay. What kind of tools? Disable device or?
I think. Let me take a look at the moves. Let me see if there's a more appropriate.
There's pick lock.
There is pick lock. There is pick lock. You know what? I think you do. I think you want both of these actually. Ember, do you have pick lock?
I have pick lock, I believe.
Oh, you have pick lock. Okay, at least one person has pick lock, and Ember also has disable device.
I do now.
All right. So first, we'll start with disabling. As Miffy, you make sure that it is safe to access. Or, well, you and Ember. Whichever one of you wants to roll it can be the one to roll it, and the other one can assist.
I can roll it.
You're rolling the... You have disable device, or are you the lockpick?
Oh, wait, never mind. Go for it. Lockpick.
Yeah.
Hey, Miffy, what's your finesse?
It's just a +1.
Okay, my finesse is -1, so I'll support you.
Oh, okay. Great.
All right, Miffy, make your finesse roll. All right, weak hit. So on a weak hit, you can either mark exhaustion, and since Ember's helping, either of you can mark the exhaustion, or one of the risks comes to bear, which is you break something, draw unwanted attention, or expend resources. You don't get to know until after you've chosen, or I don't have
I'll
to
mark an
decide.
exhaustion.
All right.
By the way, I have 5 boxes. I have 4 available. How many do you have?
I have 4 in total and 4 available.
Okay, so basically we'd be even if either of us took it.
Yeah. I can take it.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ember and Miffy, you go through. There is a device where if this improperly opens, is set to make a rather loud sound, an alarm. But between the two of you, now it's some tense work there for a bit. You think you've got all the mechanisms. No way to know for sure until it's actually open, though. And now Milo and Ember both have pick lock, so I assume Milo will be rolling and Ember will be assisting there.
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet!
All right.
Okay.
There we go. Weak hit. The same rule applies here. On a weak hit, one of you must mark exhaustion, or one of the risks comes to fruition, which is either breaking something. It probably won't be detection in this case because I did make a separate roll for disable device. So it would probably be break something or plunging into danger.
I'm gonna mark an exhaustion.
Okay,
all right.
I was gonna ask.
All right, so with 2 sets of teamwork, you open up the vault, and inside find what you believe to be the crates delivered just recently. You've made it past the security, and I assume you open them up.
Yeah.
Splitting up, you find different things in different crates. There are 2 major things you find. In one of them, they appear to be a form of helm or helmet. Most of them in a shape that seems built for birds, but some not so. They aren't like typical armor that you've seen, however. As perhaps Milo or Ember, one of you picks them up and either not necessarily tries them on, but inspects them. It looks like they go pretty tight around the neck, and when they do, there's a seal. It looks like there's all these attachments on the front, to do something. Like you're trying to like look at it and figure out what. And as you two are examining that, Miffy, you open another crate. And in that crate, sealed away, like within extra layers, like there's like a glass container, like, you know, like a jar within a jar.
Ugh.
Multiples of them all lined up of various powders.
Yes.
Or rather, lots of pile of powder. You've found...
Powdered bees.
What was that, Milo?
Powdered bees.
Powdered bees. Looking closely at it, there does appear to be some form of pollen or something like mixed into it, yes. But there's at least a few different, you know, powdered materials from what you can tell. But all of these jars are identical. And upon taking them out, or like, you know, not opening the jar, but like, you know, examining that, right? Examining the jar and looking at what Milo and Ember are holding, the strange attachment on the front of these helms are filters.
Oh no, they're gonna do
War crimes.
War crimes. Did they make anthrax? Like, what is this?
Well,
Or
unless
if
you
it's
want to open one of the
anthrax.
jars to find out, I don't think you can tell that from looking at it. But it seems like it's war crime o'clock here in the woodlands.
Oh my goodness. So is this a powder that is thrown and they have filters, like the filters filter it out? Or is this we're spraying you with crack?
No, it's probably not crack. But
What
the thing
if?
is that Eyrie can fly. They're gonna spread this powder across the woodlands.
Oh, Miffy picked that up real fast.
Oh no! I had the idea that maybe they put on the helmets and then they attach the jars to the helmets and they get like a berserker rage from the powder.
They're like baning out.
Yeah, basically. But I think the war crime air bombing is probably more likely.
Yeah, I'll be honest. My first thought was automatons in pieces, but
You know what? I thought that too.
that's more of a Marquis thing.
Yeah, big mechs are a cat thing.
They are.
War crimes are a bird thing.
Well, no, the people selling these are the company. So the war crimes
Yeah, but I'm not saying
are
they
the
don't
capitalism
also do
thing.
war crimes. I'm saying it's shared war crimes.
That's true. It's shared war crimes.
Listen, war crimes, giant mechs, it's all the same, really.
Well,
There's no like
we're getting an anime
humanitarian
opening
giant mech.
with this discovery, I think we'll cut here. And next week we'll have to figure out, well, one, what exactly this is supposed to do, or maybe you just destroy it and never figure out what it's supposed to do. And
We
two,
lock ourselves in the vault and just puff as much gas as we can.
and two, how do you stop this deal from going through? Because I think, Miffy, one thing you would know is that if the company can make it once, they can make more.
Oh yeah.
If you
It's
destroy
already
what's
done.
here, it might delay the deal, but it will not stop it, right? So
What if I make adjustments to the helmets and when they try it on, they actually die and they take off the deal?
Like how? Like they suffocate?
Well,
or?
it's a filter, right? So all you have to do is like make some come in
right.
and they're
Oh.
done.
Well, yeah. For some reason, I thought Miffy was going to rig it so when they put on the helmet, it shifts their neck around and snaps their neck.
Oh my gosh!
I'm talking practically here.
Right.
Well, I was talking
Sabotage
mythically,
the
but
protective gear so that's ineffective.
And then the deal will go off. They won't trust the company.
like poking a condom with a needle.
Right.
Sorry, that was way off base.
A little bit more deadly.
Yeah, a little bit more
Yeah.
deadly.
More immediately deadly, yeah.
Well, we'll find out exactly what happens next time, but perhaps the vagabonds will prevent war crimes with any luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, team.
All right.
Yay.
We got this, gang. We find this out and we're just standing there in our disheveled disheveled.
Well,
ice cream-
shit.
snow cone salesman outfits. We're like, we might be a little in over our heads.
No?
Or at least Milo
No,
is.
this is exactly what I expected from the company.
All right. Well, guess we'll find out next time.
I like. We've gone from assisting
On Full
arson.
Metal Alchemist.
Oh my god, to Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
All right.
And
Well,
that's the end card.
yep. All right. Moving us over to closing on that wonderful note.
Mhm.
But before we go entirely, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, before we go entirely, anything that our guests would like to plug? Starting with you, Hambone, got anything coming up that you would like to plug?
Not really. I've been pretty low key the last week or so. You know, job search and other stressful things. But if
Yeah.
you'd like to know when I go live, you can follow me at Radio Bonaire on Blue Sky or Twitch television /Radio Bonaire.
Yay! And if you're watching on Twitch, or if you see the stream title on Twitch, you can click on the little @ which is also true
Yeah.
for Amasha.
Woohoo.
Got anything coming up?
Next Wednesday, I plan on doing more Start Again, which is a prologue / side story to,
Ooh.
in Stars and Time. It's like, it was the prototype, and now it's kind of its own thing, but it's definitely still related. I've played 1 hour or 2's worth, and it's really interesting how it's slightly different, but definitely still the same story. It's also a little bit more visibly gruesome, but not like, not over the top, but like
Yay.
there's more mention and more sight of things. So yeah, that's happening next Wednesday. This weekend, I may be participating in a birthday event for Calm Event, and going to be playing Repo on his channel.
That's fun.
I'm still not sure if I'm going to be able to, because this week has been a bitch at work, but you know what? I still want to try. So regardless, y'all should show up and at least say hi and happy birthday. He's a fun streamer who does super wacky games. Like that's the goal, is find the weirdest games and
Can
play
you
them.
put that in chat?
Yeah.
While that's being posted in chat, here at the
Thank
library,
you.
we have a stream tomorrow. Final Fantasy XIV, speaking of having really busy weeks, if Nova is conscious after the busy week that has been this week, then we will be playing Final Fantasy XIV patch 7.2, probably going into the Arcadian and doing our tournament arc.
Ooh. Arcades?
Yeah, it's more of like a fighting arcade, like a tournament type. But yeah.
Oh.
It's very like pro wrestling. All of the fights have a lot of flair and style to them. It's been a lot of fun. But
Perfect. It's WrestleMania this weekend.
Hey.
oh, that actually is great timing. So if Nova has the energy, we'll be doing that. If not, I will be playing more Nine Souls. I don't feel good about how that last boss fight ended, but you know, we're just gonna move on. We're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep. It's like, yeah, that boss was not a nice person, but there are, I don't know.
Could have killed them
Yeah, you
and
could just kill
been okay
someone.
with it.
Sometimes it's better just to get revenge by just murdering them, right? Like, yeah. Anyway, so that's gonna be us, and then we'll have an art stream on Monday. So I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We hope you had a good time here at the Liminal Branch Library, and we hope to see you again soon. Goodbye and good night.
What do we always say at the end of the stream, Iffy?
Oregano.
Yay!
Yay!